What's up, fam? Michael Faber, Daily Conversation. I think we should change this to like parking lot confessions or something. How many times we've been recently in parking lots when I feel the urge to speak. But before we get started, as always, no matter where you are on your journey, I don't care if you're on the mountaintop, I don't care if you're flat on the mat, I don't care if you're just getting back to your feet or you're climbing the ladder. Welcome home. All right. I always talk about living your best life as your best self. I think that's important. I think hopefully that's the goal for a lot of people, if not everyone out there, is to live their best life as the best version of themselves. Right? And that's what I want for every single one of you guys and everybody I talk to and every client I have and every business I work with, etc., etc. Anybody across the line, it's always, what do you think's the best version of yourself, living the best life you can live? What do you see it as? And I think sometimes people get confused when they have this vision of their life in whatever it is, their relationship, their business, their career, whatever, friendships, whatever it is, parenting. If they're a parent, a lot of times one of the things is they said they want to be a better parent, which I love, don't get me wrong, and I strive for that myself. But sometimes it's hard to understand the difference between what we see as our best or think or vision, our best life and our best version of ourselves being, and then how do we become that? I think that's where the disconnect is sometimes. And there's an easy way to look at this equation, and I tell people this when we talk about it, and I've recently been having this conversation. And if you think like you see your life being the top 15%, well, then you got to do things the top 15% do. That's a lot of things people don't want to do. That's a lot of things that aren't comfortable doing. That's a lot of things that you think are a pain in the butt. That's a lot of things that are nagging. Like, I want to be in great shape because I want to live long for my family. Well, then you got to get to the gym. I don't care if it's get up early. I don't care if it's go after work. I don't care if it's stay up late. But you got to get a workout in. You got to train your body and make your vessel the strongest it can be to withstand the storm of life, right, in time. It's, I want to be, in the 1 percentile financially. Well, then you got to do what the 1 percentile does to be in that. And it's going to be a lot of things that aren't exactly fun. And, I talk about this love of life and this love of what you're doing. And it's one of the reasons you talk about that. And one of the biggest reasons is I believe you need to follow something that you're passionate about, is because when life hits you, when those things you really don't want to do comes up, and believe me, they come up every day for me. There's things I don't want to do that I know I have to do if I want to get to where I want to get to. And if that comes up, it's much easier to talk yourself into doing it when it's something you care about and something you're passionate about and something that you feel is your purpose or your calling, than when something it is really don't care about, really doesn't mean anything to you. And that's when I always say the level of your commitment will show me. You don't have to tell me what's really important to you or what isn't really important to you. You'll tell me by what you're doing. What you're doing shows what you're committed to and what you're not committed to. And it'll tell yourself what you're willing to do for it. Now you can always change that and really set in your life not a want, this is a need. I need to do this. I need to get my voice out. I need to get this job and show that I can have this job and I'm worthy of this job and that I can earn it. I need to be one of the best fathers that ever existed, or I need to have the greatest family life possible for me. It's when those become commitments, when those becomes have tos, not want tos, when those become it's, like that's the line, that's the standard, that's the only part that's acceptable for my life, then you'll start doing those things that aren't exactly fun, but they won't keep you from doing it because you know it's worth the prize. Right? It's like I think about Michael Jordan and he said how much work he put in, but being able to win championships or a championship at all and then multiple ones later, it was worth it. Right? You think about guys that gave up some of their life for the cause and at the end say it was worth it. Or you listen to some of the bravest souls on earth, soldiers, people that fight for your rights, your freedoms, or wherever you are, and they say that all the trainings and all the time away from home and possibly sacrificing the greatest sacrifice of all is worth it. It's because they made it where it's a must for them. So make it a must for you, and understand that if you want to be something in the 10%, you got to do what the 10% do. If you want to be something in the 1%, you got to do something that the 1% do. If you want to be something in the top 25%, you got to do something that only the 25% do. And if you watch, there's some things that they do that very few others do, and that's why they're there. And the best chance you have is to know the time you have to put in, know the commitment you have to make to it, understanding and perfecting your craft, and all these great things that we say that go into being that you want to be. But you got to be willing to do it. It's the only chance you have. If you don't do it, I promise you won't get there. If you do it, you have a chance. All right, peace, love, and happiness as always. Unleash you, the fam. Till next time. Peace.